Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol-free night. And the beer we're going for tonight is from Athletic Brewing Co. It's this one. It is their lager. And the ABC lager weighs in at less than 0.5% ABV. It's a 355ml can. And yeah, sugar-free and only 25 calories in the can. And it cost me £1.99 from House Trembling Madness. There's very little info on the can, apart from the ingredients list, which is water, malted barley, rice, wheat, hops, and yeast. And with the inclusion of rice, I'm expecting it to kind of be in the Budweiser vibe, that kind of thing. A little bit of bump about the brewery. It says, Athletic Brewing Company, we are pioneering a craft brew revolution. We believe you shouldn't have to sacrifice your ability to be at your best to enjoy great brews. So we created our innovative lineup of refreshing alcohol-free craft brews, and they're giving back up to $2 million annually to restore local trails, which is always a nice thing. So any Americans, if you've got some trails to enjoy, get out there and maybe drink one of these as you go. Be enjoyed. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. So my experience with rice-based lagers has not been the greatest, so hopefully this one will change my mind. The pour is pale, clear as a bell, a bit of a white head, a few too many bubbles for my liking on the glass. There we go. So it looks like a lager, let's be honest, it does. Clear, slightly straw coloured, white head on it, reasonably tight and compact. There's a few bigger bubbles, but it is what it is. So you can see my mush through there. Let's have a whiff. There is a hint of saponification. Anyone who knows what that means? It's soap. Not the greatest aroma. I'm just getting soap. And this is a surprise from ABC because everything I've had has been great. Yeah, just a light, mild green, hairy lip squid. But no lager that I'm getting on this one. Shame. Anyway, it looks good. It smells soapy. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Body's where I expect it to be. Light towards the medium end of light. Carbonation is, again, kind of where I'd expect it to be. Slightly on the more effervescent side. And the flavour is kind of what I expected for a rice-based lager. It's very light. It's very clean. It is crisp. It does have that rice-based lager DNA running right the way through it. And it does have that slightly milky, ever so slightly nutty kind of flavour running through the back end that you would get with rice. There's not a lot more to it. Which means it is a very authentic rice-based lager. So I'll give it credit for that. The finish is not there. There is no finish. It's watery. But thankfully, whilst the soapy nature was present on the nose, it's not anywhere in the flavour. So that is a good thing. Yeah. There's really very, very little on the back end of this beer. Super light. So, scoreboard of joy time for ABC's lager. Scoreboard is currently empty, so let's fill it in. Visually, the red pen of judgement says it looks about right. It's the right kind of colour, a reasonable head to it, and good carbonation sort of running up from the nucleation points at the bottom. So just to revisit that, just for your memory checking and mine. That's your beer in a glass once more. A nice kind of lager-like colour and a nice white head. Yeah, it looks okay. The aroma, I'm going to give a big fat 0, I'm afraid. Because soap is never a smell that I'm looking for in a lager. And yeah, nothing should smell like soap to me, certainly in beer. Unless, of course, you're talking about soap. But anyway, I'm waffling. The body is, again, about right. Light to light medium. Carbonation is perhaps a little heavier than I would like. So I'm going to give it the 0.75. Otherwise, it's pretty decent. The taste, again, it tastes like a rice-based lager. Namely, slightly nutty. And that's about it. The hop presence is kind of next to nothing. The malt, well, it's hard to say where that goes in here, but it's really not got a lot of flavour at all. And whilst it is an authentic rice-based lager flavour, it's absolutely not for me in any way, shape or form, because I actually like flavour. I do. This one is void of all flavour. Now, they run wild. I've got some of them in the fridge. I'm going to have one of these after that to remind myself of what ABC are good at. But the taste on the lager is a 0. And the same for the finish, because there is nothing on the finish. It's just fizzy, bland, and just really not worth writing home about at all. So it's got 1.75 out of 5 from me. Would I buy this one again? Honestly, no, I wouldn't. There's so many better lagers out there that this is not a repeat purchase for me. Value for money, $1.99. No. Would I take $1.99 from them to drink it? Maybe. And the bonus point it can't have because it didn't get a full 5 out of 5. So yeah, we have the lowest scoring beer of the year so far, 1.75 out of 5 from Athletic Brew Co. And it's their lager. Can't win them all, can we? We do try, and I do try to make my calculated purchases even more calculated by just going through what I know I like. I like a good lager, and there's been many good alcohol-free lagers. It's probably the most common alcohol-free choice next to an IPA. And you think at this point they would be all excellent, because it's a big slice of the pie. And if you haven't got a good lager, you're not going to corner that bit of the market. But this one for me is very much a swing and a miss. But yeah, the Run Wild IPA is brilliant. The lager, not so much. So yeah, I don't recommend this one. I'd love to know your thoughts on it if you've tried it. Have I got a bad can? Have you had better ones? Do let me know in the comments section below. And we'll leave it there and say, that's been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.